The wedding hall glowed with lights, flowers, and laughter. Soft music floated through the air as guests smiled, unaware that the happiest night was about to turn into a nightmare. The bride stood near the stage, adjusting her veil, her heart racing with joy. This was the moment she had dreamed of since childhood. In a quiet corner of the hall, a man sat alone with a little girl on his lap. He was a single father, invited as a caterer's helper, just there to earn extra money. His daughter clutched his shirt, watching the bride with wide eyes. "She looks like a princess," she whispered. The father smiled softly, not knowing that in minutes, everything would change. Behind the stage, a faulty wire sparked. No one noticed at first. Then smoke curled upward, thin and sneaky. Someone laughed, someone clapped. No one smelled danger yet. Suddenly, flames burst through the decorations, racing across the fabric like a wild animal. A scream ripped through the music. Fire alarms exploded into noise. Guests froze for a second, confused before panic took over. The bride turned, her smile disappearing as heat slammed into her face. Her dress caught fire at the edges, white fabric turning orange in seconds. She screamed for help, terror pouring out of her lungs. People ran, but not toward her. They ran away. Some shouted instructions, some pulled out phones, some simply fled. The groom tried to reach her but was pushed back by smoke and falling decor. The bride collapsed to her knees, trapped by fire and fear. Through the chaos, the single dad heard the scream. His body moved before his mind did. He placed his daughter down behind a table. "Stay here, don't move," he said, his voice steady but urgent. Before anyone could stop him, he charged toward the flames. Smoke burned his lungs. Heat stung his skin. Someone yelled, "You'll die!" He didn't slow down. He grabbed a fallen tablecloth, soaked it with spilled water, and wrapped it around his arms. The bride looked up, coughing, her mascara streaked with tears. "I'm here," he shouted. "I won't leave you." He shielded her with his body, beating out the flames on her dress. His hands blistered, his arms burned. But he kept going. He lifted her, heavy fabric and all, and staggered toward an emergency exit. The ceiling crackled above them. A beam fell behind them with a thunderous crash. Just before the fire swallowed the doorway, he burst outside and collapsed onto the ground. Cold air hit them like mercy. Firefighters arrived seconds later, finally taking control. The bride sobbed, clinging to the man who had saved her life. He lay still, his clothes scorched, his skin raw. "Daddy!" a small voice cried. His daughter ran to him, tears streaming, fear shaking her tiny body. He opened his eyes and smiled at her. "I'm okay," he whispered, though the pain screamed otherwise. The bride was taken to the hospital with minor burns. The man was taken too, his injuries far worse. News spread fast. By morning, the story was everywhere. A single father risks life to save bride from flames. People called him a hero. He didn't feel like one. Days later, the bride came to visit him in the hospital. She held his burned hand gently, tears falling onto the white sheets. "You saved my life," she said. "I don't even know your name." He told her simply. She nodded, swallowing emotion. "You didn't just save me," she said. "You gave me a second chance at life." The groom joined her, thanking him again and again. Before leaving, the bride knelt beside his daughter. "You are brave," she told the little girl, "just like your dad." A fundraising page appeared online. Strangers donated thousands, then millions. The single dad's medical bills were paid in full. A new home was bought for him and his daughter. Months later, at a quiet ceremony, the bride walked down the aisle again. This time, she asked one special man to stand in the front row. The single dad sat beside his daughter, tears in his eyes. When the bride reached the altar, she turned, looked at him, and smiled. Because some heroes don't wear suits. Some wear burns, carry fear, and still run into the fire. And sometimes, one brave act changes everything.